this video, I am going to go over how to pay off your credit card fast. And this is so important to getting out of debt and being able to start investing so you can become truly wealthy. So let's jump right in. Hey everyone, this is Lauren Mack with Hacking the Rat Race, and I would love for you to hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss any more videos on money, saving, and investing. So like I said, today I'm going to tell you how to pay off your credit card fast. And again, this is so important, so let's jump right in. The first one is going to seem kind of obvious, but it's very important, and that is stop spending on your credit card. Literally freeze it. Like put it in water, put it in the freezer, or cut it up, or hide it, or give it to someone that you can trust so that you can't access it. Because again, none of these tactics are going to work if you keep spending money on your credit card, because again, it's just like walking on a treadmill. So number one is stop spending on your credit card. So number two is to transfer your balance to a 0% interest credit card. This can save you so much money on interest and help you pay off your credit card literally years faster, maybe months faster depending on the balance, but if you have a really high balance, moving that balance to a 0% interest card can make a huge difference. Again, this is considering that you are current on your payments and you have good credit. If your credit is bad or you're currently behind, this may not be an option, but if it is an option for you, I would highly consider it because it is a very easy way to pay it off quickly. The only caveat here is just make sure that you are able to pay it off within the allotted amount of time, because once that introductory period is over, whether it's a year, 18 months, 24 months if you're lucky, then the interest rate is going to shoot back up, probably to a similar rate you have now. But that is an easy way to pay off your credit card really fast. The next best option, and again, this is going to be for people who have decent to good credit and are probably on time with their credit card payments, but that is rolling it into a personal loan. And again, when you're looking at personal loans, number one, you want to have no origination fee because that's just more money that you're gonna have to spend. And you wanna look at the interest rate and the term. If you're interested in this, I have a video called The 5 Best Personal Loan Companies with No Origination Fees. I'll link to it above and in the show notes below. Again, I'm not affiliated, sponsored, I get no commission from this. These are 5 great personal loan companies with no origination fees, which is so important. But again, when evaluating, make sure you're checking the interest rate, because depending on your credit or the terms that they offer, sometimes it may not be as good of a deal. But if the terms are right and you're not paying an origination fee, this can be an easy way to pay off your credit fast and reduce the amount of interest you have to pay. And just like I said with the 0% interest balance card, by getting a personal loan, this can save you so much time in paying off your credit card debt. Literally years, months, whatever it is. The next thing you should consider, if you can't transfer it to a 0% interest card, or if you try to apply for a personal loan and the loan terms are not favorable, which means you're probably going to be paying off your actual card, the first thing I would do is call your credit card company and ask for an interest rate reduction. If you're current on your payments, and even better if you've been a customer for a long time, again, you don't have to be, just being current on your payments is sufficient. If you just call them and tell them, I really want to pay off my credit card debt, you know, I've been a great customer, I've always paid on time, can you please work with me? You would be surprised. It is definitely worth calling and asking to get your interest rate reduced. If you are behind on payments, that's okay. You should still call to get your interest rate reduced. And when you do, just tell them, look, I know I'm behind, I'm trying to get caught up, I really want to pay this off, I have a plan to pay this off, and kind of go over that with them, just what your plans are to pay it off. And you would be surprised how often they are willing to work with you. Again, if you're trying to pay it off and you're already behind, they want to get their money back. So regardless if you're current or you're not current, if you've been a customer for a long time, if you have good or bad credit, I highly recommend calling and asking for them to reduce your interest rate. So once they have or have not reduced your interest rate, the next thing I would do is use the snowball method. And basically the snowball method takes the debt you have from smallest to largest. So let's just say you have a credit card with $1,000, $5,000, and $15,000. Then you would just pay the minimum on the $5,000 and the $15,000 balance. And on the $1,000 balance, you would start putting all the extra money you have to paying that off as soon as possible. When that one's paid off, then you're gonna roll it into the next one and then the next one. And the thing is, if you've already called and had your interest rate reduced, then that's gonna be more money that you can put towards paying these off. So this would be the next best thing if you can't do 0% interest and or a personal loan doesn't work for you. And during this time, while you are either doing your debt snowball, paying off 0% interest, or doing a personal loan, I would highly recommend looking into getting a part-time job or creating a side hustle so you can make just a little bit more money to pay this off so much faster. And you might be thinking, I don't have time, I don't want to, I'm not excited about this at all. And I totally get it. But here's the thing. Let's just say you have to pay off $30,000 of debt. Then you know that is your goal. This isn't a forever side hustle. This isn't a forever part-time job. This is literally to crush your goal. And if you start a side hustle, something that you like and love, this could end up growing into a business. So I would highly consider getting a side hustle or a part-time job to get extra money to throw at this as soon as possible. And if you're thinking, I have no idea what I would do for a side hustle, I have another video called 30 Unique Side Hustles When You Desperately Need It. And it's just a bunch of different ideas. And a lot of these side hustles, you can start making money right away. I'll put a link to it above in the show notes below, but definitely check that out. And I highly recommend looking into this, even if it's short term. This is a way you can quickly crush your credit card debt, and it just speeds up the process. Another thing you should consider is making budget cuts. So looking at your budget, what you're spending, your income and expenses, and just for this short period of time, looking where you can cut back so you can put every extra dollar you have into paying off your credit card debt. So by starting a side hustle, you're bringing more money in, and by looking at ways you can cut down on your budget, that's even more money that you're saving that you can pay off your credit card even faster. Some of you might be thinking, I don't even have a job right now, and I've just had some really hard life circumstances happen to me, and I am behind, and there isn't extra money right now, and I really need help, and I am behind on my credit card payments. If that is you, then I highly recommend reaching out to your credit card company and asking them what your options are, because oftentimes you can get forbearance, which means you don't have to pay it now. You can make it up later. You can get forgiveness, where they'll just forgive these payments so that you don't have to pay them at all. Or they might be able to come up with a payment plan, just so many different options. But they do want to work with you. They do want to help you because ultimately they want to get their money back. And even with the crisis going on right now, there are even extra things that they can do to help you. And in some cases, you can have a 6-month forbearance, a 3-month forbearance, which just means they put a halt on your payments. It doesn't go against you, and it allows you to catch up during this time. But again, if you're watching this video at any time and any life circumstances have caused this, then I highly recommend you just reach out to your creditors and talk to them and see what your options are. Don't hide from it. Don't not call them. Reach out to them as soon as you see a problem coming, such as job loss or some kind of medical event in your life that makes it hard for you, if not impossible, to work. Whatever it is, contact them and see what your options are, because depending on what they are, they might be able to help you pay it off faster, give you an interest rate reduction, like I said, forbearance, forgiveness, whatever it is. I highly recommend do not wait, call and reach out to them as soon as possible. Now, if you're in the boat that maybe you haven't reached out to them, you haven't called them, and a lot of time has gone by and you are very far behind, meaning you are like 5 months behind and they are very close to charging off your debt, this could be a time, if you have the money, to come up with a debt settlement or debt repayment plan for a much smaller amount than you owe. And one of the reasons for this is if you're this far along, they're probably going to be charging off this debt anyways, and the debt collector is going to be buying this debt at pennies on the dollar anyways. So it's better for them than to have to sell this debt to them to be able to clear it with you. Now, if you're only 1 month behind or not behind, this probably isn't going to be a very good option for you. But if you are pretty far behind, then I highly recommend reaching out and coming up with a debt settlement. And a lot of times you can get up to 60% off. So if your debt, let's just say for easy numbers, is $1,000, you are 5 months behind, oftentimes you can call and negotiate and maybe only have to pay $400 to clear that debt. I would highly recommend, if you're in this boat, calling them and reaching out to them and getting a debt settlement. I do want to make a warning here though. There are a lot of companies, and they're predatory, who say they will assist you with debt settlements, and so many times they are scammers. So if you're in this boat, I highly recommend you doing this yourself and not using a third-party company, because oftentimes they are going to scam you, or they're going to be taking part of the money that they save you, and if you do it yourself, then you get the benefit of that money. And the last alternative, if literally you are past this point and you are just so high, like your debt to income ratio, the amount of debt that you have compared to how much you owe is just sky high, then the last thing I would consider is bankruptcy. And if you are considering that, then I would highly recommend reaching out to a bankruptcy attorney and just looking at all of your options and discussing it with them. I would use this as a final alternative simply because it stays on your credit for so long and it can just have so many other implications. However, if you're in the place where you might need to have bankruptcy to get out of debt, then I highly recommend calling and talking to a bankruptcy attorney. I want to hear from you in the comments below. Which strategy are you going to use to get out of debt as soon as possible? Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to hit the like button. It literally costs nothing and it does so much for this channel. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any more videos on money, saving, and investing. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.